Life is your restaurant, and I'm your maitre d'. Come whisper to me whatever it is you want.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
Can your friends do this? Can your friends do that? Can your friends pull this? Can your friends go? I got a powerful urge to help you out. So what you wish? I really want to know. You got a list that's 3 miles long, no doubt.
Hey friends, my name is Gabby and welcome to my channel if you're new, and I hope you enjoyed that video because I had so much fun making it for my Instagram. And having watched that video, obviously today we're going to be talking about the universe and how you can ask for the things that you want and also how you can receive the things that you want. So this video is going to be split into 2 parts, asking and then receiving / allowing. I feel like the easiest way, like with anything, to get clear on what it is that you want is to write it down. So whether it's grabbing a piece of paper or having a journal, the act of writing down helps you get the things out of your mind and onto the paper so you can actually visually see it. And sometimes when we have a lot of things in our minds, it's not as clear. So by the act of writing things down, we actually can get really clear and really specific because the universe and life likes specificity. And even if you're not into the whole universe thing, spirituality, research actually shows that people who write down their goals and people who write down the things that they want to achieve are actually more likely to achieve it because as I said, you get really clear and specific on what you want. So there's no room for like ambiguity and saying, oh, maybe I want this, and yeah, I kind of want a better job, but you're not clear on what kind of job that you want. So sit down and write down what it is exactly that you want, whether it's a job, it's an opportunity, it's a certain way of living and lifestyle, it's a dream relationship, a group of friends, it doesn't matter what it is. And I've been doing this for over 10 years, kind of like all the things that I want to manifest. I really get specific on what it is that I want, and it makes me feel really excited, but also it sets a really great starting point. It sets up like a really good foundation for creating the things that you want. Because if you say, oh, I want a car, you're basically saying to the universe, oh, I want a car, so it doesn't matter what kind of car it is. So then you get a really shitty car and you say, oh, that's not the kind of car that I wanted. But that's why you have to be specific. The same way if you say, oh, I want to be in a relationship. Okay, cool, but then it means you can be in a relationship with anybody, right? You can be in a relationship with somebody who's not a good person, or you maybe can be in a relationship with somebody who's a really good and great person. So don't just be ambiguous. Don't say, oh, I want a job, I want a car, I want a relationship. Get really specific. What kind of job? What are your responsibilities? What, team are you working with? Who are you working for? What are the projects you're working on? The same with relationships and all the other goals that you want to manifest. Universe likes specificity, life likes specificity. So get really clear and really specific on what it is that you want. So writing down is one way to, ask for what it is that you want. Another way is visualizing. And I love visualizing because it actually goes hand in hand with allowing the things that you want. And it's all about putting yourself in a state of acting as if you already have it. So if you set a 10-minute timer on your phone, or if you play some really mellow and relaxing music, you can just close your eyes and begin to visualize what it is that you want. If you want to manifest a job, start seeing what kind of environment you're working in, with what kind of people you're working in, with, what kind of boss do you have, what projects are you working on. Really put yourself in that environment and feel like you would like to feel in that position. And this is you saying to the universe, this is what I want, this is how I want to feel. But also on the other hand, because you're already allowing yourself to experience it, you're already drawing in that experience closer to you. A third way, which is actually a natural way that we do the asking part without putting in much effort, is that every single time you're faced with something that you don't like, you're naturally asking for what it is that you want. And one of my favorite teachers, Abraham Hicks, she says that she calls it the rocket of desire. So let's say you are in a job that you don't really like, right? And you're working with people you don't enjoy. You are not feeling positive, you're feeling negative, you're feeling really discouraged, and you're not enjoying the experience. So just the fact that you are in that experience, it's such a big contrast from what it is that you actually want. You naturally launch a rocket of desire of what it is that you want. And you can actually think of it in terms of like a stick, how there are two ends to a stick. So if on one end there's something that you really don't enjoy, and if it's something that you don't want, on the other hand, you naturally have the thing that you do really want. So if your boss is really negative, naturally your rocket of desire is, I want a positive boss. If you are in a relationship where the partner is emotionally unavailable and you're really not enjoying it, on the other hand, you're naturally launching a desire of, I want an emotionally available partner. So don't think that just because you're not writing things down, or you're not meditating every single day for 15 minutes, or you're not visualizing what it is that you want, that you're not asking. So many times in a day we're faced with experiences that are such a big contrast to what it is that we want, and we naturally launch a rocket of desire of what it is that we do want. So just as you're going through your life, going through your day, you're already naturally asking the universe and asking life for the things that you want. But if you just want to kind of like double down on that and really get specific, as I said, start writing down everything that you want in detail, and also start visualizing what it is that you want. Really, really powerful techniques, really powerful ways. I actually have this like book of manifestation, as I call it, and I have a lot of different areas in my life in that book. And I just write down how I want to feel, what I want to have, what I want to attract, kind of like, it's really putting down on paper different areas of my life and what I see in those different areas of my life. And when I'm feeling really cheerful and positive and happy, I open it up and I read through the whole thing. And it just helps me get clear once again of what I want, and also just be reminded of the goals that I do have. Now, moving on to the second part of receiving and allowing. I've talked about this quite a few times in my other videos. I'll link up some law of attraction videos above, but number one thing is that you have to believe you deserve it, and you have to believe that you can do it, because you can do all the techniques in the world and you can visualize all day, every day. You can write down pages upon pages on what it is that you want. But if you don't believe you deserve it, and you don't believe that it can actually happen, it's not going to happen. And then when it's not going to happen, you're gonna say, oh, you see, the universe doesn't answer, law of attraction doesn't work, this is like all hocus pocus nonsense. But did you actually fully believe in what it is that you want? Because faith is believing in the not yet seen. If you need the opportunities to already show up, and if you need to manifest the things in order for you to believe that it's possible, that's just going about it in a really wrong way, and it's not going to happen, right? So you have to have unwavering faith, and you have to believe that you can do it and that you are worthy of this thing. And that's the most important foundation of all attraction. You can say all the affirmations, as I said, you can do all these different exercises, but if you don't believe you deserve it, and if you don't believe it's possible for you, it's not going to happen. So this is the foundational thing, if you have some doubts if it's possible, if you have some beliefs that are like, oh, you don't deserve this, this is way too good for you, write it down on paper. Start tackling those beliefs and start transforming those beliefs before you can actually manifest the thing that you want. If you want a really awesome job, but you believe that you're stupid, you believe you're not good enough, you believe you could never get paid an X amount of money, your work right now is to actually work on those beliefs and shift that foundation. And only from there can you begin to attract that job that you want. Not the other way around. You can't attract the job first and then say, okay, now I have this job and I don't really feel deserving of it, but now that I have it, I guess my beliefs are going to change. Because if you go to a job, if you accept a job that you don't believe you deserve, you're gonna feel like a fraud, you're gonna feel like you're an imposter, you're gonna think that, oh my God, they're gonna fire me every second. that's not peace either. So start laying down the foundation. Really question your beliefs and ask yourself, do I believe that I deserve this? Do I believe that I'm able to actually manifest this? So that's number one. Number two, what I mentioned about visualization is getting yourself in a place of where you believe you already have it. You believe you've already manifested. And oh man, I've done this so many times that for me right now it's just like a fun game. But I've manifested all my apartments in New York City. I've manifested this way. I wrote down a list of what I want the apartments to have. I was visualizing it. Obviously, you still have to take action. So I was contacting real estate agents and actually going to viewings because you need to take action to actually get the things that you want. And if you want some books on this subject of acting as if and acting as if your desires have already manifested, look into Dr. Wayne Dyer. He is my favorite spiritual teacher. He passed away a couple of years ago, but his books and his work for me is the foundation of how I approach life. So you have to act as if you already have it. So I feel like these two ways are the most important. Believing that you're worthy of receiving it and that you can actually manifest what it is that you want, and then putting yourself in the state of acting as if you already have it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions about this, let me know. And I also have a whole series about law of attraction and explaining it in a little bit more detail and also sharing with you my success stories. So if you want to check it out, it's going to be linked above and below in the description notes. Thank you so much for watching this. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I will see you next week.